Yo, what's good in 10? This is your boy, host Lonnie Bray, comedian Lonnie Bray of the I Grew Up in a White Town podcast. What's going on? How you guys feeling, man? What's today's date? February 23rd, 2022. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here, or, on your own. This is the first one I'm doing that's, I got video. Or at least, the whole thing is video. So if you're on Spotify, you're on Anchor, you can check this out on YouTube. Just look up LB the comic, which is me, Lonnie Bray the comic, aka comedian, and you should see it. This will be the first one on YouTube. Hey! So I hope everybody's doing good. Today was a cool day for me. Definitely a different type of day, the way it started. I can get into that. Or what I could do is tell you a little bit about where my mind frame is at and what I've been thinking since the last time I talked to you guys. So, look, let me fix my what's the name. So the last time I spoke to you guys, man, I let you know a little bit about what was going on in my brain, right? Dealing with some mental health things, dealing with anxiety. Reasons why I stepped away from doing podcasting for a month or two. And I realized there were some things that I left out. When I listened back to it, I was like, oh, okay, there might be disconnect on exactly why or where I had decided to take a break. All right. So I had mentioned that I was getting anxiety because I felt guilty about not being close to my daughter. I had mentioned that I went to Miami, and it just felt almost like I should be there. And I was having more of warm reception as a comedian there than here in New Jersey and New York area. What I failed to mention, which might make more sense in the story, was that me and my boy Brian, we were running a show. We were running a show in Jersey City, and that show we called it Lunch Table Comedy Show, and we did two shows, only two. First one was sold out. The second one was pretty much, but the weather wasn't that great and we didn't promote it as much. We only had 2 weeks to promote it as opposed to 2 months for the first one. And we dealt so we're no longer doing that show there in Jersey City. We're still going to do it eventually, but we have to find a new place. And it's going to be fun, man. I feel like we run a good show. We put together a great show. But the owner of the show, right before the second one, so anybody who knows anything about comedy and running a comedy show, if you want to learn how to run a comedy show, it's very easy. Just you can ask a comedian, you can ask, a club owner or a booker, or you could just merely go to one or go to a few of them and you can figure it out. It's not that difficult. All you really need is a budget for the comics. If you already have a microphone, which that place already had a mic, they already had a sound system, they already had chairs, they already had a venue, they already had liquor, they already had all that stuff. So literally all you needed was people who knew how to run a show, which was me and Brian, and we're letting you know, because the owner said, hey, man, I don't know how to run a show. Tell me how. All right, this is how. All we need is a budget, because what are you looking for? You're looking for great comics, right? To run the show. You want to be able to sell seats. You want to make sure the show's funny. So we need a budget so that we can pay for those really funny comedians. Me and Brian are funny. But if you're looking for a specific type of comedian, which he was, I'm not going to say the name of the person he was looking for, but if you're looking for that quality of comic, then we need a budget. You got to pay him. Right? So we agree to terms. The first show, we sell out. And we even let him know, like, hey, man, there's no, like, comedy is not free. If anybody runs into a free comedy show, I guarantee you their antennas are up and they're like, yo, this, you're not going to get the best quality of a crowd because you're not going to appreciate something that's free as much as you would appreciate something that's worth value. If you spend money on something, you're going to appreciate it more. So you're going to have a better crowd if you spend money. So we agree on a budget and we let them know, hey, we're selling tickets for a certain dollar amount. We spill it all out. Told him exactly what we're doing, exactly how to run a show, all that stuff. First show goes great. Dude's loving it. The owner is like just on cloud nine. The next show isn't for a month, right? Or like, a month out. And we don't really have any communication. Like me and Brian don't live in Jersey City. Brian lives in like Bergen County or whatever, North Jersey. I live in New Brunswick. So we're not in Jersey City like that. So the next time we go to Jersey City, like when we see the owner, because we were there in between, but we see the manager who was on our side. But when we saw the owner the next time was the next show. And right before the show, this dude decides to drop a bomb on us and tell us he's not paying us. That's not how you do business. One of the main things he kept saying about us is that he liked us because we were business oriented and we were very professional. He appreciated that part, not the part of like us trying to make him laugh. He didn't like comedians trying to make him laugh. He said he tried to run shows before and they didn't work. But this specific show that we were running, we want to make sure that we're all about business, but when we get on that stage, we're gonna rock. So he appreciated the fact that we were professional. So him telling us a couple hours before the show that he's not paying us without having any communication, with knowing that he's not paying us, like it's been a month since the first show. So he knows he's not going to pay us, even though the last time we saw him, he was on cloud nine. And the next time we see him, 2 hours before the second show, you're going to tell me that you're not paying me. And you're going to say the reasons why is because you guys are selling tickets. Bro, that's not professional, bro. So we're held to a higher standard to be professional, but you're the owner and you can just decide when you're not professional? Bro, that threw me to a whole loop. So you know what happened? The second show wasn't as good as the first one because this dude already started with a freaking cloud over everybody's head, man. You could walk into that room and feel something weird and awkward. It was started because of that dude's energy. So that show, that was before me going to Miami. So that show messed things up. My brain was screwed. I wanted to talk to this dude immediately, but guess what? He was ducking and dodging me. He told Brian that we weren't getting paid, but he didn't tell me because he was dodging me. He knew I wouldn't be cool with that. Not that Brian's cool with it, but out of the two of us, I'd say if we're playing good cop, bad cop, I'm the bad cop. Brian's the good cop. Brian's no pushover, but you can also you're gonna get more pushback from me. You're gonna get a nah, heck no. I'm black, bro. I grew up. Brian's white. Like Brian wants no problems, no beef. I don't want any problems, any beef, but I'm also not gonna get stepped on. Brian's the type of dude who will step back, think about it, and realize, hey man, I don't think this is cool. I will process immediately. That's wrong, and I'm gonna let you know. So even if the whole room feels off, it's because I know in the moment I'm right. Later on, I always have this, man. I'll step up, say something because I know I'm right. Later on, and in the moment, nobody's saying nothing. People think I'm acting nuts. But then later on, they'll be like, Lonnie, you actually were right. I know. I know that. Yeah, but it was just bad timing. No, it's not. It's bad timing for you because you don't think like I do. So I knew immediately it was wrong. So that was weighing on my brain, right? And when it comes to anxiety, sometimes sometimes little things happen and they start to stack. They stack up and create this big pile. And it's almost like the feather that breaks the camel back and and it's like, now that this pile is created, all you want to do is just attack it one by one. So on top of my daughter moving, on top of, me feeling the way I felt in Miami, I had to deal with this dude and he's ducking and dodging me. And then, eventually we never even spoke to him, but we decided, we don't want to work with a person like that. Dude, people call me crazy. I deal with anxiety, but that dude is like bipolar. And I think honestly, because I would never degrade somebody who's dealing with mental issues, or I would never tell somebody, you crazy and be dismissive. But at the same time, if there's a pattern of behavior from you and multiple people can sense it and you think that you're fine and you do nothing to make sure it's better, it's always somebody else, bro, you got a problem, man. and Buddy has a problem. So the Lunch Table Comedy Show it'll happen again, and we're gonna bring the noise and bring the pain, bring the funny. It just isn't gonna happen in Jersey City at the venue that it was before. So in the future, stay tuned for that. But that also had to do, as far as the timeline is concerned, it had to do with adding to my anxiety in that time period, man. I was, expectations or something, right? Like, I was really, really excited about running the show again. And I know what it means for my comedy career. Like, I know that when you run a show and you have your own show, it's paramount. It's like, you get other comics will start booking you, or other people will start booking you because you have something worth value, especially if your show is dope. And I'm going to be able to run a good show because I've been doing comedy for 8 years. I know exactly how to do it. I know how to host. I know how to headline. I know how to be a feature. I know how to just be behind the scenes. Brian, who's my guy, he knows how to put it on a show as well. So we've done shows together and we've done shows separately. We did shows together in Jersey City for almost 2 years in a row. We did shows in the city together at Westside Comedy Club. He's done his shows on his own. I've done my shows on my own. And when we come together, we're just a force. He's very good when it comes to presentation. He's very good when it comes to, his relationships with comedians. He's very good when it comes to just overall making sure everything is straight. Like he's more even keel than me when it comes to temperament in the room. I can be more on edge. He's like the guy who when you look at him, everything is going to be good. So he provides a huge part to the show. Without him, it would be a completely different show. Now, I can run it, but guess what? I'm going to ask somebody to help me. It might be a different person every time, but somebody's going to help me. I don't need that help because Brian fills in. It's almost like I'm more of a help to him. So, yeah, but the show is dope. We just got to make sure that we have the right space for it, the right place for it. So I was very excited about it, man. He was too. And when it comes with that excitement, and after the first show, we had people coming back. In the first show, we had people reaching out saying, I want to be a part of it. They see the videos, they see the pictures, and they're like, this is dope. So there's pressure. But I'm not going to let somebody just decide when they're going to, you're going to get paid or you're not going to get paid, or like, what next? Like, what else is he going to decide he's going to take away? You know what I mean? The owner. What else is he going to decide? Like, I don't like that. Without even having a conversation with us. Just in his brain, he decides this and then just tells us whenever he wants. That kind of control isn't cool, especially when we had an agreement. Dealing with somebody like that, nobody wants to. Like, I don't work for anybody specifically. I don't have a 9-to-5. I don't have a job that I'm working for somebody specifically like that. And one of the reasons being is because it exacerbates my anxiety, and people like that are wild cards, man. Owners can just decide, yo, you're not going to be a part of this no more and let you go. I'm not on this man's payroll, so he is not going to affect my life like that. So I'm not going to work with a man like that, man. Let's be out. My man was just, his feelings were hurt because we were getting paid at the door. Because we were selling tickets. Bro, we told you a free show isn't going to be quality. It's not going to be good. The comics are going to see it. The people who are coming are going to see it. And they're not going to enjoy the show as well. It's so much better when it comes to comedy when you're paying for something. The quality of the show is much better. He told us there was other things that he would provide for us, and he took them away for the first show. We were cool with it. As long as we're getting, the budget, as long as we're able to, pay for the comedians. He also wanted a camera person. We pay for that too. So I don't know if this man really thought we were having a come up because we're selling tickets and we're also, getting the budget. But the budget he was giving us, it's not like he was giving us $1,000, bro. This man is giving us basically enough for the camera person and one comedian. It's not that much. Then we find out this dude is giving a karaoke guy on Tuesday nights. Our show was on a Saturday night. He's giving a karaoke guy on like a Tuesday night the same amount of money that he was giving us to run a comedy show. You're not making any money from the karaoke person. From us, you're getting people that you've never gotten before. You're getting our clientele, and then they even bought more tickets for the second show and the third show. They're spending money. They're spending money downstairs, upstairs, because it's 2 floors. We were on the second floor. They're spending money upstairs, downstairs, on food, because he was saying, they were only buying drinks. Bro, that's because you're only accounting for what they spent during the show upstairs. But they eat downstairs before the show as well. So you can't just all of a sudden your brain just be like, you know what, this is what it is, without actually knowing the facts. A lot of people thought I can get food and bring it upstairs. But when they tried to do that, the bartenders that you employ told them, no, you gotta pay for this down here. You know what that's telling me? That's telling me that your bartenders are starving. That's what that's telling me. That's telling me that your bartenders aren't getting a lot of money. You're not generating a lot of business there. Because if they're so gung-ho on the fact that they need the tip, it's because they know they might not get another one or a good one later on because your business isn't good. Is it like, bro, that's not my fault, man. When the people who are coming for the comedy show decide to come early, what you want them to do? Sit there and freaking, have their hands crossed and their arms crossed until the show starts? Not spend any money at all until the show starts? That way everything upstairs is accounted for the show? You didn't tell us that. You didn't say, hey, I need to make sure that all the money that's spent upstairs for the show is accounted for. Because if you have, then I would have made sure that the people who bought food for the downstairs before they came upstairs for the show provided a receipt so that we can show it to you that they're spending money. Because if you only believe that they're only spending drinks, that's because they already bought food downstairs earlier before the show, bruh. And your bartenders told them they can't bring it upstairs. They got to cash out. But you wouldn't know that because you don't want to talk. You don't want to have conversation or dialogue. You just want to assume things. That's dangerous. Coming up with something in your brain before having a conversation with somebody is dangerous, bro. Deciding that whatever you believe or whatever you think in your brain, whatever conclusion you drew up in your brain is fact before having a conversation with somebody else. When there can be dialogue that can possibly get you the answers you're looking for, like that is insane. You're really deciding on what it is before having a conversation with people who can provide you the answers. You need to look in the mirror, man. But maybe you don't. Maybe you don't need to look in the mirror because you're the owner. You can do whatever you want. So in turn, guess what? Run your own show. Do your own thing. Because I appreciate the praise of I'm being professional. I guess you don't. I guess you don't appreciate that. I guess you don't like that I guess you don't care if you're professional or not, because you're not. And if that's okay, that's cool with you. All right, well, I don't want to work with a person like that. So do your thing. But guess what? If that adds to my anxiety or increases my stress level, then we out, bruh. I'm not gonna allow no man from Jersey City that I ain't got no ties to determine, whether or not I get sleep. That ain't happening, man. So, it is what it is, man. But in that time period, it was just like it was pretty disheartening, and it hurt my feelings. And if you allow somebody to hurt your feelings, and you allow them to hurt your feelings without any explanation, if you see that somebody is deciding to just ignore you, you can feel it, bro. You can feel that, this person doesn't want to talk. Like, I got feelings here. You did something to affect me, and you're ignoring me. You have the right to decide whether or not, you want to continue a relationship with that person, whether it be business or a friendship or whatever the case may be, man. I'm always going to be the person who's going to protect my mental health. I'm always going to be the person who's protected my feelings. My feelings matter. I think when I was a kid and I was growing up, I had this idea and this notion that if you let your feelings dictate how you speak to somebody, how you feel towards somebody, or how somebody perceives you, then that can be looked at as weak. But I only thought that because that was the idea that everybody had. And also with it comes how you react. So you can have feelings and they're real, but then if you act nuts, you can seem spoiled. You can seem like you're unhinged. You can seem just wrong, even though your feelings are real. So now at age 32, I'll be 32 soon, 31, turning 32. I'm learning with help how to tell people how I'm feeling, or how to let my feelings be heard in a manner that makes everybody feel comfortable. But if I feel something and I just let it sit there, then eventually you're going to get an angry man. And in this society, it's an angry black man. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a stigma. And it's not that I don't want to be a stigma because an angry black man is a bad thing. I don't want to be a stigma because, bro, I want to be an outlier always. It's very difficult to be an outlier when you're just placed in a group or in a box. So if I'm placed in this group or a box of like, yo, this dude is just wild, bro, I can't even, then it's like, all right, then you're not even going to hear me. If I'm the guy who's just like acting wild or whatever, then like I can be saying things that make sense and that can actually add value or help. But because I'm that guy who's wild, you're not even listening. I don't want to be that. So, it's like we realize the journeys we're on. We might have to pull over to the side a little bit, because we need gas, or we need to add air in our tire, or we need to rotate our tires. We need to we need a new tire. We need to add oil, right? That's also our lives when it comes to our health mentally and physically. Oh, I got this path I'm on, but I need to just pull over real quick and deal with my body. I need to pull over real quick and deal with my feelings, deal with my brain. I might be able to get there where I want to get there, but it might not be the right version or the best version when I get there because I'm poisoning myself with BS. So I need to just pull over real quick and fix, my windshield wipers, whatever the case is, bro. I need to fix something before I get to my destination. But my destination is still in my GPS. I'm going to get there. But I got other things I got to fix before I get there just to make sure that I'm the best version of myself while I'm there. I get there unbroken. Because who would want that? Like, who would want to finally get to their goals, but be a version of themselves that they can't even recognize in the mirror, or that nobody wants to be around, right? Like, we're forever changing. And that's something that we just have to understand and deal with. We're forever changing, but we don't have to forever change in a negative way. We don't have to forever change in a way where people who love us just don't see us, or they're not recognizing us anymore because we're completely different. We can always change for the betterment of ourselves, and we can bring our friends and family along if they're helpful towards our changing. If they're not, we got to let them go. And we might be that piece in their life that they need to let go. And we'd have to deal with that. But I'm always going to be on the side of making sure that things, businesses, money, people, achievements doesn't affect your mental health and just how you are negatively, to the point where you can no longer see or get to where you want to get to, or achieve the greatness that you're, entitled to achieve, or on the goal or path to achieve. You got to get there. All the things that were affecting me in October, November, December were hurting me to the point where I couldn't talk to y'all. But that's also on me though, right? Because I shouldn't allow it to affect me that much that now I have, it almost seems like I'm lacking, not ambition, but consistency. Because I'm going to do this. We're going to do this podcast and we're going to listen. I don't know if we're going to laugh anymore, because it seems like it's starting to get serious, which makes sense. Because if you want to laugh with me, bro, watch me on stage. I don't think my life is that funny. I don't think I'm that funny in my life. And I think there's not too many people who see me as the funny guy in regular life. I don't let a lot of people in that way. If I do, you're not getting a full, real version of me. But if you want the real version of me, you want the dude who grew up in a white town, you want the comedian Lonnie Bray all the time, always, and you want me to be able to speak my mind and talk in a manner that lets you know exactly where I'm at today, this is what you're going to get. So I don't like that there's things that can mess with me, that can make me stop doing what I want to do. But the reality is they're there. So what do? Like, my day today wasn't the best day. So in my brain, you're not getting the best version of me. But that's not up to me to decide what version of me you should get. You want Lonnie Bray, right? So any version of Lonnie Bray should suffice. If you're a fan of mine, you're a loved one of mine, or my friend. Social media provides this landscape where we're able to just post great things, nice things, smile, good pictures, look in shape, all this stuff. It's not real. I'm going to provide the real. I provide the real on stage. I'm not going to give you guys no BS when it comes to this podcast. I'm going to provide the real here too. I provide the real even on Instagram, on Facebook. They don't want me on on Twitter, man. I might cuss somebody out on Twitter and then also right afterwards let them know I love them. This is one of the reasons why I really appreciate Kanye West. Like, all right, so maybe I don't appreciate Kanye West, but I can understand him more so than your average person. I filter my thoughts more so than he does, but I know the level of greatness that I can achieve, and I know the level of intellect that I have more than anybody else does. So if I'm communicating with somebody a thought or a feeling of mine, I know I'm doing it the right way, even though they might not receive it that way. They can receive it in a negative way or harshly, and I know I did my job. What I said was perfect, but how you received it, that's on you. If you received it negatively, that's not my fault. So that person might look at me like, yo, I'm a a-hole or whatever the case is. But bro, I did my job. You know, like sometimes I think the thing that I struggle with, and I kind of just alluded to it a little bit, what is the there's a version of me that people love. Yeah, people love the version of me that makes them laugh and that provides a spark in their life when I'm around, right? I've been told by people that I can be like a larger than life character, but also by some people who might be those same people. Sometimes the character I present seems unreal. I'm a comedian, so obviously you're looking for me to make you laugh and have a good time when you're around me. The thing is, though, that laughter, that good time is an escape from your real life. But me making you laugh, or me having a good time around you, or even you having a good time with me, isn't necessarily escape from my life. So there are some times where I still feel like being that version of myself. There are some times I'm just like, yo, I know this is what you're expecting, but unfortunately, this is not what you're going to get. You get what I'm saying? So it's either one or two things for me in my brain. Do I just decide to not be around? Like if there's a gathering or there's some, like, do I just decide not to go because I know I can't be that version they're looking for? Or do I decide to go and then they're like, oh, we don't like this version of Lonnie. Well, too bad. Too bad, man. And that's where I'm at today, where I don't care. I think a year ago, like when I was starting to deal with my anxiety, I cared. I'm like, oh, I don't want people to see this side of me. Now I'm like, yo, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, bro. We're peeling layers. When you get an orange, some people don't like the peel. Most people don't. You bite the peel of an orange, it's disgusting. The seeds are spit them out. Even some of that white stuff, you gotta peel that off. But it's all the orange. You can't say I love an orange, but then complain about certain things you don't like about the orange. So do you love it? Do you love all of it? Or do you just love the parts that are edible? Because the parts that are edible do something to you specifically when it comes to nutrition and taste. They satisfy you taste-wise and give you nutrition. But the other parts you just throw away. So do you love oranges? Or do you just like the parts that make you feel good? Do you love everything that comes with oranges? Have you grew an orange tree or plant or whatever the heck? Because I've never grown one, so I don't know what I'm saying right now. But have you? Do you know the process of growing oranges, storing oranges, buying oranges, peeling oranges, the smell in your fingers, the smell in your hands, how it's going to linger and stay there, slicing them up, seeds, all different kinds of oranges or the orange family, clementines, tangerines, oranges that aren't completely ripe yet, too ripe, too orange, not enough orange. Do you love oranges or do you just love specific oranges and what they do for your body when you eat them after they're peeled? Do you love Lonnie all the time, always, and everything he provides and brings, or only the version of Lonnie that makes you laugh? I think that, again, that used to bother me, man. It didn't bother me negatively all right, let me backtrack. I would want to make sure that I was the best version that everybody wanted to see. Now it's just like, hey man, I can't hide no more. I'm not ashamed of my anxiety and what comes with it. But I do think that it's not necessarily like if there was somebody else, if I had no anxiety, right? And there was somebody else who was across from me or near me that had anxiety, the anxiety that I have, I might call him crazy. I might be like, yo, this person's nuts. So I can understand that there are times during my anxiety where I might not be rational. I might not be, I'm different. I'm not me. I might be just acting a fool, Maybe not acting a fool, but I'm not rational. It's just not the version of me that you are accustomed to. So what happens, because I can't speak for everybody, but for me, specifically what happens when I have anxiety is I can start to feel, I can feel something. I can feel like, uh-oh. It's kind of like feeling sick, like, oh, shoot, I can feel it. I can feel it coming along. Like I'll start to feel something in my body that just lets me know like, hey, you don't feel that great. Maybe something somebody said and the way I'm taking it, I'm just now like, oh, shoot. I don't know if I like that. I might start getting just like a heat in the back of my neck, like, ooh, oh man. Eventually stress headaches will come, but that comes later. I feel something and I'm like, you know what? This is bothering me a little bit more than I thought it would. It's staying in my brain a little longer than I thought it would. Let me approach this person and let them know how I feel. I'm feeling something. I'm not going to ignore it, because if I ignore how I'm feeling, eventually I can explode. So I feel it. Then I approach the person, let them know, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I got all the tools possible to approach this person in the best way. I didn't always. And even if I might approach them in not in the best way today, I have the understanding that I can always be better. So let me approach this person in a manner that can let them know I'm feeling a way. Now, unfortunately, friends, family, a lot of people, I joke around. My grandma used to call me the boy who cries wolf. I'm constantly playing and joking around. So if I'm playing with you and joking around, and all of a sudden out of nowhere I'm just serious, you might just be confused. You might be like, what? You might still think I'm joking around, but I'm dead serious. Yo, this is how I feel. This is what you just said. This is what it's making me feel away. Now, if you're able to be like, you know what? Hey, man, tell me more how you feel. What can we do to make you feel better? And those, if we can have that dialogue, then they'll make my, because this is right before I'm feeling this anxiety or having this anxiety attack. So if we can have that dialogue and you're receptive to it, because again, I know I might be a little irrational at this moment. I might not be thinking clearly and I might be bugging. But if we're able to have this dialogue, we're able to ask the right questions that gets me to the answers that I can say to you. Or if you're just allowing me to just tell you, I got it off, you heard me, you're receptive, you got kid gloves on, we hug it out, we're good. However, if I say something to you, because I'm being vulnerable by telling you this, normally I just hold it in, but it's bubbling, I got to tell you. I tell you this, you got your gloves up, your fists up, your gloves on, and you're fighting me. You're ignoring me. And you're continuing the behavior I'm telling you I don't accept, or that's making me feel the way I feel. At that moment, I start to feel like I'm in quicksand. I start to feel these headaches, they're called anxiety headaches, and I start to feel like I can't move or do anything. So while that's happening, I'm trying to breathe. In my brain, I'm trying to process what this means and say to myself, are you bugging? Or is this real? Has this person done this to you before? Do they take advantage of you? Like, are you okay? Are you never gonna be okay? Should you be around this person again? Should you fight this person? Should you just dip and not talk to this person? Like, I got all these things swirling in my head. You start to build a resume for you to make sense of all this. I'm thinking about maybe all the times they might have wronged me in this manner. So if I'm feeling like this person isn't respecting me, how many times do I feel like maybe I was disrespected in the past and let it go? Oh, shoot, this person's taking advantage of me, bro. So these are all things, and I can't move, man. And the things that make it worse is if that person's acknowledging that something's going on with me, but they're ignoring me. I could feel it. I could feel it. I can feel it, owner of a Jersey City bar, that you're ignoring me. That you know there's something we need to talk about. But you're ignoring me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like these are real feelings, man. And if you decide that you want to ignore it, that's on you. You can go home and go to sleep. But guess what? I can't. So I'm up thinking. I'm up just confused. I don't know what to do. My head feels like it's about to explode. I can't do small tasks. I can't walk correctly, talk correctly. I can't engage in conversation the normal way. I can't, when I'm driving, I'm on autopilot because I'm just thinking about this thing. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be small, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be small, whatever, bro. It's messing with me. It's making me lose hours, possibly days. That's what happened in Jersey City. I lost days. The thing that made it better is that I was able to get it out, but I wasn't able to get it out to the person that I should have been able to get it out to. I got it out to the manager who had nothing to do with it. It was the owner that we needed to talk to. But this man had better plans and decided, you know what? I'm not going to go to this meeting that we were scheduled to have. I'm going to go to New York City instead. All right. Go to New York City. Not have the conversation with us. I'm going to get everything I need to get out to your manager. If he wants to relay it in the right way, cool. If he doesn't, fine. But I got it out. And these are things that I'm realizing. These are coping mechanisms that I'm realizing. All I need to do is just get it out. I can speak into a freaking voice memo. I can type an email. I can just yell it out in the rooftop. But I need to get it out somehow. If I don't, I let it fester. Because my brain isn't the same as my voice. Like, I can think of something in my brain, but then when I say what I think, it might not come out correctly unless I practice it. If I practice saying it, then it'll come out correctly eventually. But my brain and my voice are two completely different things. So my brain, it could just be eating me up. But if I say it out loud, eventually, I can breathe. So once I'm able to breathe, my anxiety starts to go away. I don't know what it's like for everybody, but I know it's like that for me. I know feeling like I'm in quicksand isn't a good feeling. I know feeling like, I got this legit feeling that means something and that matters to me is real. And I don't care anymore at age 31, turning 32, what it seems like, what it looks like. If it seems weak, if it seems like, this just isn't how adults handle things or black men, I don't care, bro. Because the adverse effect of me not just telling you how I feel and getting this off my chest and out is me putting my hands on you. Is that what you want? I don't think so. So what version of a black man do you want? Do you want the one that can come to you and talk to you in a manner that's polite and that's professional? Or do you want the one who's going to be aggressive and choke the crap out of you. I can be both, but I don't want to be both. I want to be the former. Somebody else could be the latter. That ain't going to be me. Why? Because I got goals, bruh. I know where I need to go. So let me change my oil real quick, change my tires so I can get there. I'm not saying things for nothing. I'm not saying things just to say them. Everything I say can come around full circle and mean something. There's an end goal to every single thing I say. I know sometimes I can go off, or I can. It seems like I'm derailing, but by the end of it, you're like, oh shoot, there's a story there. Oh, okay. He made it all come full circle. I do every single time. I'm not saying anything that's not worth value. I would never just say things to say things unless at the end of it, I say, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm just playing. When I'm doing that, that's when it's all about the jokes. It's all about the fun. But if there's no, I'm just joking at the end of it. No, I'm just playing at the end of it. Take in the words I'm saying as fact, because they can apply whether it's to you in your everyday or how you treat and conduct yourselves with and around me. Or if and around somebody who has anxiety or has these issues, man. I think there's so many people who have anxiety or who have issues, mental issues, depression, whatever the case may be, who just seem like, this person's just nuts, bro. And not everybody knows how to speak to him. We don't get taught that in school. We get taught the Louisiana Purchase. We don't get taught how do you deal with somebody with depression? How do you deal with somebody with anxiety? Guess who teaches us these things? Our parents, right? And what do our parents do? Our parents just ignore those people and tell those people they're crazy. Why? Because they never really had to deal with depression or anxiety. If they had to deal with depression and anxiety, they were bopped on the head and told, stop being a little punk, a little sissy, man up. Black man, black woman, you got something to do and accomplish, and you can't if you're sad and got your head down. Put your head up. Let that go. Go accomplish your goal. Guess what that does? They go accomplish their goal, but then they're bringing down generational trauma to their kids, their grandkids, and all that stuff, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. I'm carrying baggage from my ancestors. I'm carrying generational trauma because we were told to shut up. Hold your feelings in. And now when they're dealing with somebody like me, they don't know how to. But they recognize me in them. But it's confusing to them because they're like, wait a minute. I do feel that way. But I was told not to express myself that way. When I did express myself or try to, I was bopped in the head. So should I bop him in the head? Or should I applaud him for being able to speak out the way I would want to speak out? Or should I be jealous that he's able to speak out because I wasn't when I was his age? Or should I just ignore it? I'll ignore it. You can't. Because I'm going to keep coming, man. You can't ignore me. I'm sorry. Maybe at some point you were able to, but not anymore. I'm cool, man, where I'm at. I'm happy. I'm happy saying if it's a Thursday and I'm sad that on Thursday that I'm sad, I'm happy saying I'm sad that day. I'm happy saying that I'm happy today because I am. Whatever I'm feeling, when I'm feeling it, I'm okay feeling that way. And you should be too. Because feelings come and go, but when they come, don't ignore them. Embrace them. Figure out exactly why you're feeling that way. Dive into it. Feel it all the way. And then figure out a way to make those feelings better. Figure out a way to be the best version of yourself when you're feeling those feelings. If you want those feelings to go away, figure out how they can go away. Don't just ignore it. Like, you know what? I was just being a punk last week, man, on Thursday, between 8 and 12, man, I was just being a punk, bro. Why? Was it justified? Like, you're probably going to feel that way again. So when you do, what are you going to do? Smoke? Drink? There's so many vices we can use, right? But were we born with those vices? When those vices, or if those vices go away, then what do we do? Last year with my anxiety, I was drinking alcohol to cope with my anxiety. Guess what? It was hurting me. It was a temporary fix, a Band-Aid. But I needed stitches. I needed a cast. How you put a Band-Aid on a broken bone? How you put a Band-Aid on my arm just got chopped off. I put a Band-Aid on it? Now it's infected. No, bro. Guess what I did? I realized the drinking was a bad thing for my anxiety. It was not good. I realized, okay, cool. I put the spare tire on. I can drive a little longer. But the spare tire isn't meant for a long drive. The spare tire is only meant to get you 50 miles. But I got 400 miles to go. Heal yourself. Heal yourself, man. It started off as a weird day. I said that before, and I meant it. Today didn't start off as the best day for me because the morning. So last night, and I'll be brief. I'll be very brief. We all know I got a kid. I got an ex-wife. Kid moved, and my ex-wife moved to Philadelphia. From New Brunswick, it's a little over an hour. It's about an hour. But when we split, they lived in Jackson, New Jersey, is where I grew up, which is about the same thing. So the distance really isn't that much for me. It's really not that bad. I'm okay. In New Jersey, if you're driving an hour, bro, it's really not that big of a deal. Maybe in New York City, if you drive an hour, it's a big deal. But in Jersey, whatever, man. So I had my daughter this weekend. It was a great week. This past weekend, it was a great weekend. I drop her off in Philadelphia with her and her mother on Monday. Yesterday, which is Tuesday, I call, no answer. They call me back. My daughter is crying. I'm on the phone. I can't do nothing. My daughter's crying. She's upset. I don't know why. Then she starts screaming at her mother. Now, I'm a fun parent, but at the same time, I am a black parent. You're not going to scream at your mom, your dad, an authoritative figure, an adult, and your dad not say anything. I'm sorry. But there's nothing I can really do because I'm on the phone. So the mom, which is my ex-wife, I feel like she's just kind of stunned. Eventually, my daughter walks away. I ask my daughter's mom, is this something that she normally does? My daughter's mom says, as opposed to what? What should I do? And I said, you should let her know that she will enter the spirit realm if she screams at you like that again. It was a harsh scream, tough scream. And she responded by saying, well, listen, maybe I should call you. We should, call you tomorrow. I text her. I let her know, I think you're doing a great job. Don't accept that behavior. Be strong. You got this. Guess what that means? I'm on your team, man. I'm on your side. I'm your guy. She doesn't take it as that. I get a text this morning saying, hey, I don't appreciate you criticizing my parenting, making comments. Nobody's criticizing your parenting, making comments. What I'm criticizing or what I'm making comments about is my child's behavior. Lord knows if my child's in front of me, she's not going to do that. You and I don't live with each other, haven't parented together really. So I don't know how you parent to criticize it. You don't know how I parent to criticize it. But I do know that I would not let that behavior happen if I was there. She would not do that if I was there. She knows that. My daughter knows that. There's no way. So I can't sit back and watch her scream at you and do nothing. So if I comment, I'm commenting because I want her to be better. I'm not commenting with the thought in mind that your parenting is bad. I don't know. It's not like that. It's about our child because it's my child too. And I would hope that if my child screamed at me, I would hope my child's mother would have my back as well. So, she didn't see it that way. Whatever, man. Again, it comes down to communicating and being able to express yourself in a way that makes sense to everybody. And I know I have multiple people that if I communicate with, they say, hey, man, you communicate in a manner that's, I get it. So if I'm not communicating in a manner that she gets it, what can I do? We're not together for a reason. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm still on your side. If you didn't take it as that way, you didn't take it as like, hey, you know what? He's on my side. He wants to make sure that I'm okay. He even sent me a text message afterwards to make sure I'm cool. If you're taking it as he's, he thinks I suck as a parent, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't think you suck as a parent. I think it's very difficult what you're doing and what I'm doing. It wasn't something I saw for us, but we're in it. So let's talk about it. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Okay, then guess what? We're going to have these moments where you don't know how I parent and I don't know how you parent. And I might comment on something that you don't like and you might comment on something I don't like. But if you take it personal, as opposed to this person is also this child's parent, that ain't on me, man. Whenever I speak to you and it has something to do with our child, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's about our child. If our child was old enough to be able to have her own phone, I wouldn't even talk to you. And that's not me being mean. It just is what it is. I'm not WhatsApping you. I'm WhatsApping our child. Our child walked away, and that's when I asked you, is this a behavior that happens often? Because if it is, we need to nip that in the bud. I didn't ask that question while she was sitting right there screaming. So what am I supposed to do? That's how my day started. I'm just like, what? How do you not see? I think out of 100 people, 99 people would see that I was on her side. Because at the end of the day, my daughter should not be screaming at anybody. So what is your argument? That it's okay for her to scream at you like that and that I'm wrong for checking her or I'm wrong for saying something? I don't really know what I don't really know what you would be fighting for. Because she should not be screaming at you. That's what this is about. Not about anything else. Not about our past, not about how I parent, not about how you parent. It's about how our daughter should not be behaving in a manner that make you feel the way I'm sure you felt. But if you don't want to explain or express to me how you felt, I'm going to interpret it as you felt crappy. But don't put that on me. I'm on your side. So I woke up just confused. That's how my day started. But at the end of the day, man, hey, we'll figure it out. But, it is what it is. But shoot, man, let me get up out of here, bro. It's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta go. Gotta head on out. I got things to do. And I know I went on a couple of different rants, but I hope it all just came full circle. Basically a continuation almost of the last pod, but at the end of the day, man, if you got feelings, man, then feel. If you got feelings, man, then be able to express it in a way that makes sense to you and other people that can get you to the point where you need to be the person that you are, especially if you're a person that everybody benefits off of. So, I'm gaining these tools. I feel pretty good with them. It's almost like I got a nice little belt. I got a little belt with what do they call that? What kind of belt? What do they call that? Not a chastity belt. What is that? Not a tool belt, but whatever, man. Let's say a tool belt. I got a little belt, man, with equipment that I can use. This is metaphorically speaking, obviously. And these tools can, provide they can provide something that can make me handle things better and deal with things better and speak better and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, your health is your wealth, and don't let anybody take that from you. So whether that be some greasy old bar owner in Jersey City or some person who's control of your kids that makes you think that you guys are always supposed to be opposing each other. Even though y'all supposed to be a team. It's all a team thing, man. It's a team thing. That's the thing that annoys me the most, is that everything that I'm talking about, all I'm trying to do is just be the best version of myself or the best teammate for that other person, to make that other person thrive as well. If they see me as the ops, if they see me as a burden, I go to therapy. I deal with my issues. Maybe it's on you. Oh, buddy. Well, hey, this has been fun, man. It's your boy Lonnie Bray, bro. I had a blast today. Let's do this again. This is the I Grew Up in a White Town podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night. Let me know what you think. There's comments, comment section, man. There's everything, bro. Like, you can comment on Anchor, you can comment and leave tips or whatever the case is, on Spotify, on YouTube. Like, if what I said makes you feel a way, like it hits home, or you feel a certain way towards me, like good or bad, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep ranting, and I'm not gonna know. So either way, I hope y'all have a good night. It's your boy Lonnie Bray, the comedian. I'm out, man. Peace.